Hi, I'm Hudson Bell. Today I am in the Jackson Square Historic District, which in 1971 was declared San Francisco's first historic district. Unlike other squares like Union Square or Washington Square, there is not an actual park square in the Jackson Square Historic District. It is known as that because of the high cluster of old buildings located in this neighborhood. On the north side of Jackson Street, between Montgomery and Sansom Streets, you have a strip of buildings which date back to the 1850s. Very uncommon in San Francisco due to the 1906 earthquake and fires. The brick building behind me at 472 Jackson Street is the oldest of these buildings, dating back to 1850 or 1851. And is a great example of the fireproofing techniques of the time, brick building with iron shutters. While it may be common to see buildings like this that survived from the gold rush times, you will not see this in San Francisco. This is really the only remaining survivor. On the south side of Jackson Street, between Montgomery and Sansom, you have a line of buildings which date back to the 1860s. Behind me, you'll see the Italianate buildings that used to be the liquor warehouses of Anson Hoteling. Anson Hoteling, who used to have a hotel just down the street, had found a way to pipe in water to the neighborhood at that time for fireproofing. Really, these are freak survivors of 1906 earthquake and fires, but it could have been some of the reason for his pipes that this neighborhood was saved. However, there were a lot of people at the time of the 1906 earthquake and fires that thought that maybe outer circumstances had brought about these fires to destroy San Francisco. In reply to this, a poet who was a member of the Bohemian Club came up with a little saying. He said, "If, as they say, God spanked the town for being over frisky, then why is it that he burned the churches down and saved Hoteling's whiskey?" Another notable building in the Jackson Square Historic District is at 415 Jackson Street, behind where I am right now. This is the original Ghirardelli chocolate factory, which dates back to 1853. Domingo Ghirardelli, originally from Genoa, Italy, had come over to Peru before the California Gold Rush and came up in 1849 to live here in San Francisco, working as a merchant. In 1852, his family came up to join him, and in 1853, they founded the Ghirardelli Chocolate Factory. It was not until after his death, later on in the 19th century, that his sons started the factory at Ghirardelli Square, where it is known today. While the Jackson Square neighborhood can be easy to miss, there's a good reason that it was designated the first historic district of San Francisco in 1972, due to the high cluster of old buildings in the neighborhood. While I focused a bit on the 1850s buildings on Jackson Street, Pacific Avenue, just a block up, has a high cluster of buildings built just after the 1906 earthquake and fires. And this is due to the fact that was the entertainment district of the city at that time, also known as the Barbary Coast, which you will hear a lot about in regard to old San Francisco.